Hey everyone, and welcome to Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
And my name is Carolyn, and this week on Girls Unscripted Reality Gab, we talk about JT quitting Southern Charm, we talk about Teddi Mellencamp and her messy divorce, we talk about Brittany's Hot Mic podcast episode, we're talking about Rachel/Raquel and her possibly coming back to Vanderpump Rules, and then we go into our Real Housewives Roundup, where we talk about RHONY and the Real Housewives of Salt Lake City. It's all coming to you right now.
Hello everybody, and welcome to Girls Unscripted. My name is Kate.
My name is Carolyn.
And I actually just have to say, if you are listening to this episode and not watching it, may I suggest maybe watching this one on YouTube, because Carolyn has the most gorgeous background I've ever seen in my entire life.
Hush. Oh, you're making me blush.
Tell us where you are, sister.
I am in the very first place of America, aka Virginia, Williamsburg. This is the, oh God, I'm going to sound so stupid. James River? Is it the James River? It's like the famous river. I think this, like, just imagine Pocahontas and stuff. Like, I am in the thick of it.
I said to her when we first got on, I go, is that the ocean behind you? She said, no, it's a river. It's crystal blue. It's beautiful.
It's gorgeous. I mean, I guess it's an inlet per se, because all rivers go to an ocean. We're close. I don't know. I'm like 15 away from Colonial Williamsburg, where they like wear the things and the hats and they talk like it. It's a whole vibe.
I'm into that.
It's really fucking cool. We went to my friend picked me up and drove me here from the Richmond airport, and we stopped at a restaurant called Food for Thought, and it had a picture of Benjamin Franklin giving a wink, and in the store, the t-shirts were so funny. I was like, I don't know if these are being ironic or not. It was like capitalism with like a flag on it, I guess for capitalism. And then it said, this was important, and I need you to hear this.
Okay.
A t-shirt for those of you watching. Being powerful is like being a lady. If you have to tell people you are, you aren't.
Oh my God.
So I think that's a good way to start our program today, because we have a lot of housewives to talk about, and there's a lot of ladies on there.
I fear that shirt isn't being ironic.
I know, no, it's dead serious.
Oh God.
It's dead ass serious. So.
But no, you know what though? Go to any of the 13 colonies, you will find someone dressed up in colonial attire, most likely as Benjamin Franklin himself.
He is quite the man over here.
He's popular. There's a couple Ben Franklins in Philly I've met.
Well, I mean, Pennsylvania is the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania,
That's
right?
what I'm saying. Yep.
I don't understand what that means, but I know that they are that.
I also don't know what that means, but I know that I've seen a lot of Benjamin Franklin cosplayers, maybe a couple William Penns as well. Just depends on the day.
Oh, it's so fun. So anyways, that's where I am.
We do actually have like a shit ton of stuff to cover. And I was kind of giggling to myself because like last week before we interviewed Peter, we were like, there's not really any like reality TV news really. And then all of a sudden now there's like so much shit that I'm down to just like get right into it and start talking about it all.
Jump. This is me diving in.
Yeah.
Into that river.
Okay, let's just start.
Teddi Mellencamp.
Okay, yeah, so I only know the bare bones of this stuff. And this was announced, like, I think like maybe 2 weeks ago that she was getting a divorce. And people seem pretty shocked by this, right?
People were shocked, but I think they were more shocked at all the allegations that followed, saying that she's been having a months-long affair with her horse trainer.
Now, see, this I didn't know.
You didn't know this?
No.
It's a whole thing, and Kelly Dodd came on Instagram and was like, you know that I know this, Teddi. Like, nah, I hope Edwin gets full custody. So Teddi asked for full custody.
So there is a custody battle with the kids, so I guess they didn't divorce nicely.
Well, I think the affair has come to light as of late. Actually, this is even more fucked up. They were together when he was also married. The horse trainer was married. And his wife was giving birth, but he missed it because he was with Teddi. And the wife found the text messages, and then the whole thing blew up.
This is insane. I just feel like no one can just have like a normal cheating on their partner anymore. There's always like layers to this shit.
Why make this so elaborate? I mean, what, the horse trainer, really?
Missing the child, the birth of your child to be with Teddi Mellencamp and her horse is really something.
I mean, and this is all what I'm reading on the blogs. Who knows if it's true? But Kelly Dodd was like, you know it's true. So who knows? Because I know, okay, so Edwin wants joint
I also don't know. I don't know what Kelly Dodd sounds like, so this impression
That
is killing me.
nothing like that. She sounds literally nothing like that. I don't even know how Kelly Dodd, she hasn't been on in a minute. She's obnoxious.
I know what she looks like. Yeah. I know who you're talking about.
And she's married to that Rick guy.
Dude, I feel like if I would have just started, I should have started Real Housewives of Orange County, but I thought it was like fucking ran its course, and now it's like, but no, Teddi is not Orange County. She's Beverly Hills.
She's Beverly Hills, but she has her podcast with Tamra, who is Orange County.
Is Kelly Dodd Orange County?
She was Orange County, and she was put on pause, I think, permanently.
Okay, so hard to keep up.
Because she was problematic. She was a bad person. But I don't know, so is Tamra, and Tamra's back on. So I can't.
I do think like Tamra is just such like a staple though of Real Housewives. Like it makes sense for her to go back.
But so, I mean, I was shocked they didn't get rid of the Tres Amigas at the same time. They like filtered them out.
And Tres Amigas was Vicky, Shannon, Tamra.
Yeah, so they got rid of Vicky first, then Tamra, and we were like, poor Shannon. Now she's still here, but Tamra came back.
Damn, okay.
And I don't know another housewife that's actually come back. Can you name one? Listeners, can you name one?
That's left and then come back?
That was fired, put on pause, and then asked back after one season.
Maybe maybe Kim Richards? But I don't know if she was ever fired.
Yeah, but they kind of come and go as they please.
Yeah, they can do whatever the fuck they want. I don't know.
Whatever, but I looked to see if Tamra said anything about this, because, I mean, it's her co-host, and I couldn't find anything. So I'm really curious.
Yeah, good question. Are they talking about it on Two Teas in a Pod?
I mean, they can't not talk about it, right?
They're still trying to figure out if Tamra's autistic or not. So I think they need to sort through that for them to then go on to a new topic.
Is that still going on?
I think she apologized for it, but no.
Oh, wow. Okay.
What are we reading?
They posted an episode 16 hours ago, so.
Maybe they're addressing. They have to address at least something about the divorce.
It says it's about Potomac. I don't know. I wouldn't be surprised if they just leave it be. Man, Mess, I love Mess. What else is there?
JT quitting Southern Charm before it's even finished.
It was so JT how he went out, though, to be like, it breaks my heart. But it sounds like he just up and left mid-season.
Up and left. So he posted a statement on his Instagram saying it came with a heavy heart that he resigned, blah, blah, blah. He then says, yesterday I informed Bravo that I will not be participating in the 2 to 3 remaining green room interview sessions that he had left before the season airs. So he still had his a couple talking head interviews left that he was supposed to do. He said he's not participating in the show in any ways moving forward. I'll leave it at that while I work on the next steps and recover both physically and mentally. Then directly after that, he posted a photo that said one step at a time. And it was a selfie of him now. And then you swiped and it was a photo of him from that 70s party, the last episode of Southern Charm last season. And he's drinking and he's looking a little heavier. And then a lot of people are commenting, congratulating him on his sobriety. But he never announced that he was sober.
Oh, well, now I feel like an asshole.
No. Well, no, it's not an asshole because he's still up and quit for no fucking reason. He didn't have any...
because he's getting sober?
But he didn't have any parties left to do. He just had a couple interviews left to do. The theory, don't feel like an asshole. We don't know if that's true or not. There's another theory that he's dating someone that said, I don't want you to be on that show. There's another theory that maybe he was with Vanita and then he started dating this girl and this girl was like, I don't want you to be on there with Vanita. People are, I know I'm throwing a lot out here. People do think that him and Vanita thing was real.
Maybe we were wrong on this one.
I think here's what I think is logical. He was with Vanita, but fucked her over. And Vanita is universally loved by this group. She doesn't really do anything wrong. She doesn't really do anything, but she doesn't really do anything wrong. Mm-hmm. I think he fucked things up with her and people started really hating him. And then he pulled the whole, I'm getting sober and I'm going to quit. Maybe that's wrong of me. And you know what? This could be a similar thing to what we did with fucking Mary Cosby's son when we made fun of him for smoking weed and then he went to rehab. So this could be on me. But I feel like maybe that is what he's trying to pull. I bet you it will not be a favorable JT season.
Well, recovering physically makes me think, did they get in an altercation? Was there a fight? Did he get in a car wreck? Something. Right? He has to have something happen to put the word physically.
Recover physically.
And emotionally. So it sounds like something traumatic happened.
He said, on to the next steps to recover both physically and mentally from what has been an extremely challenging and exhausting year. Seems like he just had a tough season to me. And it does seem like he's sober.
Damn. Oh, well, I hope Godspeed. You know, I always say I don't go on reality TV because it ruins your life. So if you decide to get off of it, I understand because it likely ruins your life.
I mean, look, he came in hot and he wasn't going to be liked. And like, you got to realize when you act like that, it's not going to be pretty. And he's coming into his show. He came in on the 9th season and purposely trying to ruffle feathers of a friend group that have been together for quite a long time. I think it's horrible what happens to these people that go on reality TV and it fucks them up mentally. Like, I don't love that, but he did have kind of like a motive as to what he was doing.
Yeah. Who knows? I'm excited to watch though. I mean, Southern Charm is one of those that's really gone up and down in terms of its like legacy too. It had the first seasons, I think, were some of the best seasons of reality television, I think. Because there's a cast we'd never seen before with like older men and these young women. Like, what was happening? It was really a look into Charleston I had no idea about.
I totally agree. And it almost felt like something we weren't supposed to be seeing, right?
Exactly.
Because it's like we're watching, think about it. We were watching 40 and 50-year-old men prey on like 18-year-old girls.
Young 20s. Yeah, they were kids.
Thomas Ravenel and Catherine, no one should have ever shipped them. And I feel like we should have never have been watching that.
You're so right. All of it was so wrong. And eventually it caught up to Thomas that like he got kicked off kind of permanently. And I guess
never coming back.
Catherine's still on.
No, Catherine's not on.
Is she gone?
She was gone last season. The show doesn't really need her anymore. Okay, I'm sure you've seen some clips of Brittany Cartwright on this Bravo Hot Mic podcast talking about Jax and how she's getting her new bar. Like, have you heard any of this?
I've heard that she's getting her new bar in West Hollywood near Tom and Tom. That's Britt's. It's Rocco's restaurant again. She's taking over like a wing, but it's in West Hollywood.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. So Rocco's is like a chain of bars around LA, for those of you who don't know. And Jax's Studio City is right next to Rocco's in Studio City. And I don't know if it's connected to Rocco's. I don't know. Carolyn did walk into the wrong one when she was there. So
I find it quite confusing.
So maybe they're closer than they think. So Brittany said, the partners at Rocco saw how much I was doing for Jax's, so they offered me Britt's. Jax, and this is all information I got from this podcast, was not happy about it, didn't want it to happen, tried to stop it. Obviously, it happened. She's getting the bar in arguably a way better location. And then Jax had the nerve to say, okay, well, when you announced this, I want people to know that I helped. I had something to do with it. And Brittany was like, the only thing you had to do with it is that you tried to prevent it from happening.
Yeah, fuck that.
Not only that, she talks about how Tom Schwartz was not down with Jax moving in next door to him and said he didn't think Jax would actually do it. Tom Schwartz doesn't want to be a part of another Scandival type situation.
Wait. I didn't know this happened. What happened?
Oh, okay. Well, they talk about this in the podcast too, so I'll just tell you. When Jax and Brittany broke up, Brittany wanted to stay in the house. She said, I have to like cruise most of the time. Like, it would just make more sense for us to stay in the house. But like most men on Vanderpump Rules, Jax refused to move. He wouldn't leave the house. So Brittany said she's been in 4 rental properties since the two of them decided to separate. Jax then decided, I don't know why, like to downsize, whatever the fuck. They still have the house, but but he decided to move into a condo next to Tom Schwartz. And Brittany was pissed because she's in this rental property that she had to pay for up front. And she's like, now I'm just wasting money. I'm paying for a rental property. You're not even living in the house that I've been begging to live in. Not only that, she admits that she's still cleaning both houses, buying groceries for both houses, and paying the bills on both her rental property and their house. So she's like, Jax just didn't even think about me when he decided to move out. So I guess now they just have like, maybe she's in the house now, but for a while it was just like an empty home that was just sitting there because Jax just decided to move next to Tom Schwartz.
And Schwartz was like, brah, don't do that.
He didn't because he doesn't know how to say no to his male counterparts. But I'm sure he just was like, I don't know about this. Like, that's what Brittany said, that he wasn't super down for, because it isn't a good look for Schwartz.
Yeah, yikes. You got to cut that string.
She also talks about how when Jax was away in the mental health facility, that's when she like officially realized this dude is never going to change, because she said he would, by the way, she calls it rehab. She doesn't say mental health facility. She says when he was in rehab. So do with that information what you will.
Yeah.
She said he would be in therapy for 7 hours a day and would still find time to rage text her, curse her out, and call her names. So that's when she was like, he's never going to change. She said she doesn't regret dating Jax's friend, Julian Sensley. Have you heard about that? She dated one of his friends. She said, I don't care. I've always thought he was hot. I didn't give a fuck how I affected Jax because he sucks.
God, I love this new Brittany.
And then she did reveal, which I thought was juicy. Again, this is just a cliff notes. The one moment, the only moment of Vanderpump Rules that she stormed off from filming, which we didn't see it play out, but it was right after she found out that Jax and Faith slept together. They were doing a scene together afterwards, and Jax basically like started breaking up with Brittany in this scene. And I kind of remembered, I think it was like in their bedroom and they were chatting. And he was like, you know, you don't deserve me. I'm not good enough for you. And she looked at him, she's like, we're not doing this right now. We're not doing this, blah, blah, blah. Well, she gave a little bit of backstory and said that day they had an amazing conversation. They slept together. Like things were good. And the second the camera showed up, he's pulling this shit of like, you don't deserve me. We shouldn't be together. So she said she got so mad. She stormed out of the house, ripped off her mic, and went to a hotel and did not tell a single person where she was. Didn't tell production, like, because she just got so frustrated with him, which don't know why.
Who could blame her?
Still don't know why she got back together with him. I don't know why.
I don't think anyone would judge her for that.
Yeah, totally. But I judge her a little bit for staying with him. But that's
for sure. But I mean, the storm out. Like,
oh no, totally. The storm out was super valid. And then she did say she was like, that was the only outburst I've ever had. And then kind of like made a joke of like, I can't really say the same for other cast members. So it seemed like that was kind of she assures all of us that her and Jax are never, ever, ever getting back together.
Woohoo!
Thank fucking God.
Ever.
Yeah.
Good for Britt. She sounded good. She did sound good, right? Like in a good place.
Oh,
what you're relaying is very positive.
She's standing on business with this one, sister. Like, he has no control over her anymore.
Oh my God. I want to, like, her therapist better get a raise because it's hard to leave a toxic thing.
She did say, which made sense to me, like, she was like, you know, this isn't new news. Jax has had blow-ups forever. Jax and I have gotten in a million gajillion fights, but it wasn't until Cruz was there that I realized I need to get out of this.
Yeah.
Like, so I think it's like one thing for her to take the brunt of it, but then when she sees her son, like, I get that. And I'm glad that she had enough wherewithal to think that way.
It's funny. They say in therapy, like, if you're being really harsh on yourself, they're like, if you saw your child self, your 4-year-old self, would you be that mean to them? And obviously not.
Yeah.
Like, it's such a mental thing to, like, put back in the mindset of a kid and be like, they're so innocent.
Right.
This is like these are their core memories.
Exactly.
So, kudos.
Exactly. I'm happy for her. And they both said that Brittany first off said that season of Vanderpump Rules when, you know, Jax cheated on her with Faith and they played the voice recording, yada, yada. She said that doesn't even compare to how crazy this next season of The Valley is. And Alex Baskin, who's like the producer of Vanderpump Rules in The Valley, he was the one interviewing her. And even he said, I think it will be one of the craziest seasons of reality TV ever. So we'll see. I don't know if it's being overhyped, but
I cannot wait.
I can't wait
to cover it.
We will recap every episode.
When does it air?
We don't have an air date yet. It'll probably be in the spring. But you know what? Think about it. I mean, first season of The Valley was good, right? First season of Vanderpump Rules, good. I mean, crazier than The Valley. That second season of Vanderpump Rules is when like shit really hit the fan. Jackson, Kristen, it was revealed that they hooked up. Tom and Kristen broke up. Like, I'm really praying that this second season of The Valley will be as good as that second season of Vanderpump Rules, because it's gearing up to be that way.
Which is why all of our fans are like, why are you not covering the second season of Vanderpump Rules?
You know what?
It's not out of the question in me. Yeah,
Let's talk about it. We'll talk about it. I every time I do a TikTok live and someone asks me, I always blame myself because it was me. But you know what? I think times have changed, and maybe we could bring Vanderpump Rules back.
I think it just needed a break because we were doing so much Vanderpump Rules.
Well, no, and also I think that we thought we would be breaking down the Real Housewives more like scene by scene
like
by
we
scene,
used to.
like we used to.
Yeah.
And we've learned these seasons don't really call for that. So I do think it's possible to do both. I mean, Salt Lake is great, and we probably could break it down scene by scene, but I don't think it's necessary. RHONY, not quite sure about that one.
Oh, God. Oh, my God. We'll talk about it today. But yeah, I totally agree. And like we said in The Valley, especially for people that have never been on reality TV before, it takes a season to warm up in the water, to understand what you're playing with, how you're going to show up, how it's going to impact your real life versus not, what's on camera, what are we not talking about. And then I feel like by a second season, they show up ready to play.
Ready to play, especially with Lala and Sheena in it too. Like, they've set us up for something. And
Are they in it?
Yeah, they're going to be
Did I miss this?
Yeah, we've talked about this. I swear to God.
I might have a problem, but okay. Yes, I
They will be on the second season. I don't know if it's
Are they friends of?
I don't know if it's like friends of or cast. I think it's just friends of, but they are on it.
Okay.
I don't know how much, but we'll see.
If they get main title, I'll be like, oh, good for them.
That would be. I don't know. I don't know.
She doesn't know, everyone. She doesn't know.
So you have on our notes here, Rachel.
Oh, I didn't know if you had any more information on this, but someone told me that there's a rumor from the that's so mean. Okay. From the producer saying that she might return to Vanderpump Rules.
A rumor from her publicist.
Or from, yes, exactly. Sorry, I meant the publicist, not the,
I am so sick and tired of this bitch.
Of this publicist.
Yeah, like.
She's trolling everyone.
Like, get a new fucking scandal to talk about at this point. It's, because, so she was on Sarah Fraser's podcast, which is funny because Peter had mentioned her last week.
Yeah, she did.
Just saying the same old shit she's been saying. I don't believe it for a second. Juliette, is her publicist, is trying to keep, in my opinion, Rachel relevant so she can keep a job. So she can look like she's repping someone fucking credible. But when Rachel left the podcast, her reasoning for quitting the podcast was she's done having 1 foot in and 1 foot out of Vanderpump Rules. She wants to move on. And I think, why would she go and say all that? Now, granted, Rachel has a mind of her own as well, but like, why would she go and say all that to then just go back on Vanderpump Rules? I think they could have a season. So basically, Juliette is making it seem like they're waiting for Rachel to decide before they agree on if they're going to do a season 12 or not. They don't fucking need her to do a season 12. It would be great ratings, and I think it would make sense, and I wouldn't be surprised. I have been saying I think she's going to try and go back, but I just can't believe anything that this PR woman says. I don't know why we're even believing her. She's just yapping.
She's just yapping. And this might be a hot take, but I personally think if Rachel comes back, it won't be that interesting. Because I feel like we're at a different place now where people are past it, moved on in the sense of they've cut ties with her. She has no relationships with anyone on the show.
Zero.
Who would she talk to? What would her scenes be? It was hard enough to have scenes last time.
Yeah.
Think about this time.
Right. Yeah. If she were to come back, it should have been in the middle of season 11. She should have done one little thing and then been done with it. There's no need. If they bring her, they'll end up bringing Tom Sandoval's new girlfriend. Like, there's no fucking overlap whatsoever. Maybe it will be like her storyline could be like her trying to make amends, her maybe apologizing to Lisa. But she has nothing to really... Ariana will never film with her. So she's not going to do a scene where she's apologizing to Ariana. It's never going to happen.
Yeah.
You know who would film with her? Lala.
Yeah, she was the first one to like give her a voice memo or whatever to be like, "Hi, I'm sorry," or whatever she said.
You know who she is friends with?
Who?
Joe.
Oh, that's Joe. My gosh, duh. I know. I know. They are friends.
I know we haven't heard that name in a while.
I know. I wonder if she would be back.
I can't imagine.
Again, hot take. I don't know if we need Joe.
People will be pissed. I really think let's preserve the show. I think it should be done. Let's deal with the drama on the Valley. I've said it once, I've said it again. If they bring Vanderpump Rules back, it should be 3 separate settings. It should be Tom and Tom working at Tom Tom and following some of the people at Tom Tom and their shit. It should be Katie and Ariana. It's something about her following their shit. And maybe James Kennedy DJs at Sir every now and then. Lala and Sheena can chill in the Valley. Everybody's happy.
Everyone's happy. Talk about a show about Tom Tom and who works for them. Our poor boy, Up and Adam, is now in the crosshairs of this nasty, nasty public fight between him and Whitney. What are your thoughts? I'm so curious.
Well, first of all, for those that don't know, this Up and Adam, he's a TikToker, he's a YouTuber, and he did work at Sir and is like friends with the Vanderpump Rules people. I would like for you to maybe explain it to me a little. So, okay, here's what I'm gathering. It was Up and Adam on the phone with Whitney in the car, because we've talked about this on the pod, that revealed it was Lisa the one spreading these rumors about Whitney. Lisa denied it. Lisa said, called her PI and said like, I want to prove that it wasn't me, or whatever the fuck she said.
Go the distance.
Go the distance on this. And now Adam is saying that's a lie. That's not what was said. But there's more to it, right?
He's saying yes, and just like our TikTok that blew up.
Yeah, we have a viral TikTok. No big deal.
I mean, I don't know. It's no big deal. We are so famous. But he was saying that was a Frankenbite conversation, which means it was a phone call it was 2 different phone calls spliced together to make it seem like one, where it made it seem like he said that it was Lisa behind the Alibaba fodder, but it wasn't. He said he told Whitney it wasn't Lisa. Now, we both were like, okay, we can maybe see that happening, but the way that it was shown, it makes it look pretty cut and dry. Like she asked and he said, like, do they have a liquor booze brand line? Yeah. A liquor brand. And he said, yes. And then Whitney goes and Watch What Happens Live.
Oh, she was feisty.
And tears him down and is like, I trusted the wrong person. He did say it was Lisa. Blah, 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 blah. Now, poor Adam is on TikTok firing back saying, hey, Whitney, these are all the lies you said on Watch What Happens Live. Wow. You said you know my husband. You don't know my husband. You said all these blah, blah, blah. I mean, he makes a list. And they've just been reading each other back and forth. And I was like, oh my God, it's like, if one of us got caught in this, one of us. Like, it's so scary to watch. Like, poor thing. But also, did he lie?
Well, I was going to ask, let me ask you this. Who do you believe?
Don't hate me, Adam. I think he said it was Lisa.
Here's what I'm thinking. I think I'm with you, Carolyn. He had to have signed something to say it was okay to use these phone calls on the show. Okay? That's just a fact. Let's look behind the curtain. He said something about Lisa. He was he was being gossipy towards Whitney. Whether he said that or didn't, he agreed to go on this show to gossip about the women on this show. And I think now that there's backlash, now that it's seeming like people really like Lisa Barlow this season, funnily enough, now he's like, oh, well, wait, no, I didn't say that. It seems like he's backtracking and they're both now getting into semantics. I think they both can be right and wrong at the same time. But the bare bones of it is you called Whitney to gossip about the other women and you signed off on those conversations being allowed on the show. And you need to kind of own that.
And the way that he's addressed him, like not having said what he said, has always been very vague. Like he didn't say who he said it was. He didn't say like, it's actually so wrong because this is what I said happened, but they made it sound like he never gives an explanation.
He never exactly. Really good point, Carolyn. He never said, this is what I said instead. He's just saying, I didn't say that.
And whenever he says that, he's like, and it's fine, bravo, I'm totally fine with it. And the way that he said that made me think that's a weird thing to say of like, I think he's saying that because he didn't think it would get this blown up. And in case someone from Bravo did see him lying about the show, he didn't want to get in trouble for it by making it seem like it was a producer that did it. I don't know. That's my theory.
And in a way, he is safe because this was over the phone. Even if they were like, we're going to play the footage back to prove it, he can still say, you spliced two different things together. Because we don't see him saying this. So he does kind of have nothing to lose, I guess. It's just, I mean, he's lost his friendship with Whitney, but it seemed like he was okay with losing that.
Yeah, it's his word against Whitney's. And frankly, I trust neither. So let's just
Whitney
see.
is really on one this season, although.
Oh my God.
They're all kind of on one this season.
Let's talk about it this episode.
Okay, wait, I have to do something because we forgot.
What?
I just have to do it.
Amen.
It's just like, just the little things in life that bring me joy, and that's one of them.
Yeah, totally. 10% happier.
Salt Lake is fucking bringing it, baby.
This episode, I mean, Bronwyn is earning her spot, ladies and gentlemen.
I hate to be like, I knew it, but man, I knew it, but I am intrigued to see more of her and her husband.
Oh, no one talk about the husbands?
He's about the husbands. He's giving daddy and not in a good way.
Yeah.
Like he talks to, when they were like talking in their Palm Springs house and he was like, I said I wasn't going to deal with this drama. Either they leave or I, like, it was giving like my dad yelling at me when my friends were too loud at a sleepover.
You know what it's giving? It's giving Erica and Tom Girardi. Because Erica's so loud and outspoken, but whenever there's a scene with Tom, he would literally tell her to stop talking. He was and she was much more reserved and insecure.
Yeah.
And when Todd basically did the same thing to Bronwyn of like, they're going home, she's normally very loud and outspoken, but she's just nodding saying,
She was
I
like,
know,
okay,
I know.
Okay.
Yeah, it was almost sad. Like you
Yeah.
could tell that there's a big personality shift.
I was reading between the lines there of him being like, I don't really want to film. I don't really want to do this. I'm only doing this if it's like no drama. Like I get it. He didn't sign up to be on the Real Housewives. I guess like technically he probably kind of did, but like he doesn't want, he just seems like a normal fucking guy.
He seems like he's a normal guy, but he seems like a very powerful businessman.
Well, yeah. And he doesn't know how to lean in and play the game like Seth and Lisa Barlow's husband do, where it's like they understand they also kind of have a role and they lean into it, and he just like doesn't want anything to do with that. He just wanted to have a chill weekend.
Very much like Tom Girardi, who was a big mogul in the law world and didn't want to be part of the bullshit, but when he was on camera, he was very charming and whatever. But not saying that Todd is charming, but I think Todd is very aware that this show thrives on drama, and his stipulation for Bronwyn was, if we're going to do this, we're not going to fuck up our name. Like, we're not going to get messy with these people.
He also just seems like someone that doesn't really show, maybe he doesn't have very many like emotions or show emotion. Like it was just very cut and dry, that scene. And then it reminds me of them when they were out to lunch and Bronwyn was crying about her daughter's grandparents and her absent dad and blah, blah, blah. And he was just kind of like, you know how I feel about this. I don't want to talk about it anymore.
Yeah.
So I don't know if he just didn't want that on camera or what. Like you said, it could be, you know, doesn't look good for them. But or if he's just like, I don't give a fuck. I don't know.
I mean, Justin literally got fired from his job doing this. And I didn't know that. He's one of the few people that did. Oh my God, Whitney's husband?
I didn't know that.
He was without a job for all that time because they did that cringy sex painting scene in Housewives.
And he got fired because I didn't know that.
He got fired and then didn't have a job for a while because there was a non-compete. So he literally couldn't get another job.
Okay, I remember that. I did not know that. First of all, I mean, that was a fucking weird ass scene, so I don't blame them. But I'm
not saying that Todd's doing that.
They toe the line a little bit, that couple. I'll say it. Too many hot tub scenes.
I mean, that is proof that this can blow up in your face even if you are an innocent bystander. It is proof that you can indeed get fired from doing these shows.
Yeah, I guess that makes sense. That sure does make sense.
I think people are like blink twice to save Bronwyn.
But then there's like tea between Bronwyn and like the I don't understand like the Bronwyn and Heather like not liking each other.
Okay, I wanted your opinion on this because I think, and I could feel this in the memes too, that the popular opinion is kind of turning against Heather. This has been happening for a long time. But I personally watched the scene between Heather and Bronwyn, and I did not understand why Heather came in so hot. I don't know. I feel like it was more of an apology than Heather's making it seem when she's repeating it to Lisa and Mary.
Yeah, I was confused by that whole scene. I'm like, did you guys just meet up to fucking fight with each other?
I mean, it was just, I think Bronwyn, sure, maybe had a little bit of power grab in her to be like, she did have this leverage. If she has this trip and she has the private jet, which she paid for and mentions many a time. But I do think she would have gladly had Heather on the trip had Heather not kind of freaked out and left. Well, did she leave or was she invited to go? I don't know. I think
people, yes, are starting to turn on Heather. I am still like, I do still like Heather, but I think maybe if I were Heather, I would have a huge guard up with any new people that came into my life based on the shit that she's been through. And I think that's why
/put upon herself.
Exactly.
Which might even be more to your point.
Well, that's, yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I'm saying. Like, maybe that's why she's being this way towards Bronwyn to prove, like, see, I'm not going to let someone else take advantage of me. Like, because she already knew Brittany prior. So Brittany's not like a new person. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. The whole thing is confusing to me.
Well, I mean, and this is Lisa at her finest. It was ballsy for her to bring up the phone and then call Heather on the trip where she clearly wasn't invited. I mean, if I were Bronwyn, I would have been upset. I would have been like, this is weird.
That's fucking weird. I 100% agree with you. It was weird. And then Lisa acts like she didn't do anything wrong. And it's like, wow. Since when is Lisa truly like on her knees sucking Heather's dick? Like, that is what's happening. And I'm like, it's just so much. It's like, you don't have to call her and be like, we miss you. We wish you were here. It's like, it is, honestly, it's a slap in the face towards Heather, in my opinion, too. Like, look how much fun we're having.
Yeah, and you're not, because you're not here.
It's weird.
It's very weird.
It's pretty much all I have about that. I will say, I think I'm enjoying seeing more of Brittany. And when
is she on the trip? She's not, right?
No. But we saw her, I'm confused as hell by this woman, I'll say that. We saw her she hosted a church group for the Mormons. And she was singing, and I don't know if you remember when she was singing, she was almost like conducting. And then it reminded me that she has like a very theatrical past. She was in a family band, like the fucking Partridge Family. She's an actress, she's been on
like
Broadway.
The
Or like the Osmonds, maybe that's where there's that connection. But yeah, she's an actress. She's been on Broadway. She's a singer. She's a model. Like, if you look up old photos of her, she has quite a past. So I think that we're focusing a lot on her being boy crazy, and I want to learn more about her as a human.
There's so much more to her. Yeah. If I were her, I'd definitely lean into some of that a little bit more, because we would have no idea that she has like talent.
Exactly.
And, like, had a bustling career elsewhere.
Or if I was a producer, I'd be like, let's maybe like chill with the dudes and try and fix your relationship with your daughters.
Right. Yes. Yes.
There's
the daughters.
Something there. I know.
Marriages off limits.
I want to talk about what I really want to talk about.
Give it to me, girl.
I'm done with the Real Housewives of New York.
Kate, this episode was infuriating embarrassing for the show. I mean, the fact, I don't think we've ever seen that where they literally had, spoiler alert if you're not caught up with the Real Housewives of New York, but they had a completely made up storyline just to prank the audience, I guess. It
lasted the entire episode.
The whole episode. It blows my mind that producers were like, do it. Maybe it's because it's Rebecca Minkoff. They're like, do whatever you want. Or they just knew it was a dull season. They were like, why not? It's better than what else we have going on. But why?
I think this show would actually be better if it was scripted as opposed to Brynn and Aaron like trying to produce it themselves, because those two, especially Aaron, no offense, Aaron, I know you're listening, I know you're a gabber, they are the most like, Aaron is so not funny, it's actually hard to watch. All of her pranks are, let's steal someone's phone, let's put a fake cockroach in a cake, and now let's fake a fucking pregnancy. Like, I see it from Rebecca Minkoff's standpoint. She had just found out that the Psy Hot Mic thing happened, that she was called boring. Yeah. So she was probably like, yeah, this will be funny, this will be fun, whatever, let's try that. I actually, for some reason, I have nothing against Rebecca Minkoff doing it. I get why they did it, but to your point, I agree. I don't know why the producers let that happen, especially after every single episode this season has been something so obviously produced. Whether it was Brynn doing it or Aaron doing it or whatever, it's just like, you're losing us. If we're not already lost, you're losing us.
No joke, Kate, I had to try is the word here, to watch, not this episode, but the last episode of New York to catch up.
Oh, the one where Aaron says that she discovered mezcal and brought it into the United States because no one had ever heard of it before. That was crazy.
I'm praying that's a Frankenbite and she just meant like this particular mezcal or something. I'm praying because no one's that delusional. No one's that delusional to think that mezcal has not been brought to the United States before. Like, she's a smart girl. I mean,
I don't know.
Who knows? But I tried to watch the episode, no kidding, 4 times to pay attention to all of it because I couldn't. It lost me every single time.
Yeah.
Many time. It felt like I was trying to like study French or something.
Well, and also I'm tired of all the fucking jabs too that are happening throughout all of these episodes, all coming from Brynn basically.
Brynn!
Let's think about it. She told Jenna Lyons that Aaron called her poor. That was a lie. Mm-hmm. She said to Jessel that Jenna called her basic. That was a lie. She's going around making the same tired ass Nordstrom Rack joke about Rebecca Minkoff. Like, we get it. You're fucking seething with jealousy over this woman. It's like, I just don't get it. I just can't do it. I don't know. And I know a lot of other people are done with it too. Andy and Jeff Lewis both said they weren't a fan of the prank. Jeff Lewis said on Watch What Happens Live, I think it's self-producing. You lose trust in your audience. I think it's a bad move. I don't like pranks. And he's right. I mean, he's right about that.
Yeah, although I don't like Jeff Lewis, but I'll agree with him.
Jeff Lewis has really been the catalyst of a lot of these issues as well.
Yeah. I think he's kind of a narcissist, but
I don't know much about him.
Beyond the point. Beyond the point, yeah. If you're having to prank the entire show for us to watch, and Brynn, like her stirring the pot with Jenna and Jessel was so far-reaching that it's like, girl, it was the opposite of what happened.
She wasn't twisting the truth. It was a straight up lie.
It was like a backwards, 180
And then statement. She's just like, yeah. Why does Brynn get away with this stuff is my question.
I don't know, but this season's messy and not the good way. I do love mess. I don't love this type of mess.
Well, and you know what I'm noticing is about myself is the opposite is what's hooking me. The scenes that are not drama filled are my favorite scenes. That scene with Sai and her family a couple episodes ago doing her mother's ashes. I love that. I loved this scene where Sai brought her daughter to Rebecca Minkoff's like showroom and they looked at all the wicked stuff and Rebecca let her take a purse. I thought that was so Cute. I loved that. And lastly, give me a show that's Raquel, Mel, and Abe. Just the three of them. When they did their little date, I'm like, Aaron doesn't even need to be here. This is a trio I love.
Did you say Abe or Gabe? Because
I should have said Gabe. Sorry, yeah,
okay,
I understand the confusion. I meant to say Gabe. I know you didn't know who I was talking about.
I absolutely love the trio that they have going on there. And I loved in his confessional that he admitted that he was questioning his sexuality when he was younger.
I thought
that's
it was
such a big thing to say for a guy.
Abe rocks. Gabe, even better.
Gabe is amazing.
Yeah.
I'm really enjoying getting to know him more this season.
Me too.
It's in a weird light, but I like that light.
Yeah.
I like that he's embracing it.
Did you see Aaron is pregnant?
I did see that.
And
how old is she? Do we know?
It's a good question. Let's look her up. But rich people can get pregnant at any
I think
age.
she's like 38.
37.
How 37?
I was surprised by the announcement. I'll say it.
Really?
Like, I don't know why I was, but I was. It just seems like all we're hearing about is her and Abe being in a bad spot in their marriage. Her mother has cancer. Her father just died. It's like, I'm not look, I sound like a bitch.
That's all horrible stuff. Yeah,
but
no,
it just seems like you're
horrible.
going through a lot, and I just was surprised that a pregnancy was in the cards, and the fact that she announced it yesterday when then the episode airs of her faking a pregnancy announcement, which is just weird.
It doesn't quite fit, and I think producers are probably shitting themselves of how to salvage what is left.
Yeah.
Also, I think added to this equation is that Uba is just a menace this season. Also isn't playing nice with anyone, is being horribly rude, even to the people she likes. No one likes each other right now. Except the people that
Uba do last episode? I feel like she didn't do anything.
Remember Uba? She just keeps saying really mean things. She was drinking out of the carafe of water, and she was like, just so like you're such a basic bitch, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
Everyone was like, whoa, Uba. I mean, it's fun for a bit, but it's not fun when it's prohibiting you from having like interactions with your castmates. And that's the whole point of the show.
Totally
and we're
agree.
losing that.
She's so in her own little world right now. I totally agree with you. I do have something fun to tell you though.
Okay.
A little inside scoop.
Yes.
And it has to do with Brynn's app.
Oh, that's right. Okay, yes. What is it?
So Brynn is, and I don't know if I'm like allowed to say this, but I'm going to.
Did you sign an NDA?
I didn't, so I'm just going to tell you. So her app is called Riz. She says that on the show. And I was asked to film content on TikTok for Riz. So
wow.
and this was like months ago. So they like contacted me and I was like, I don't know if I'm the person to do this. It's a dating app. I'm in a relationship. And they go, it actually is kind of a cool app. So they're not really talking about it on the show, so I'll just tell you. Basically, you can join as a dater or like a watcher, and you can look at people's conversations, and they're like sending voice notes and shit to each other, and you can listen in. Like, I literally could be on like fucking Jack and Jill's text chain, seeing everything, and then you can make comments on it, and you can say like, this is a green flag, this is a red flag. Like, you have a say in their like dating app convo.
What's the benefit for people that are on there as daters? To have strangers tell you for red flags?
I think so.
I would never do that.
Yeah, it's weird. So it's like, so strangers, it's supposed to be like, so your friends can look and blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But so I filmed all this content. I have been talking to them for so long. I sent them the content. They were like, this is great. A couple weeks, didn't hear from them for a couple weeks. And then they hit me up and they were like, actually, we're not doing this anymore. Here's $100. Sorry for wasting your time. And
Stop.
I haven't seen anything about Riz online. So Brynn, what's going on?
Ooh, how much were they going to pay you?
I don't remember. Not like that, not like a crazy amount. I've never
Well, it's annoying if you had to do all this
figures.
content and they were like, never mind.
Well, because in order to do the content, I had to join the app. I was required to follow 5 different couples. I had to post like a certain amount of comments. I had to make a profile, which just like felt kind of weird, but I was interested, I was like, whatever. So yeah, and I never ended up getting my full paycheck.
Yikes.
They threw me like $100.
Brynn, what's going on?
So Brynn, figure your shit out, sister. And if you ever need a video, I've got one in my drafts for you.
I've worked in the tech startup world and it's a beast. I hope it does well, but honestly, like, You just pass your phone around to your friends. Like if they're on Bumble, you just show them. It's not like I don't want strangers in my Bumble conversations.
I honestly think it is more enticing for the non-daters to go on. Like I will say I enjoyed being on the app. Like it was a cool app, but yeah, you're so right. Like as a dater, what's the benefit there?
I mean, this is what's called a two-way marketplace, and that means you need customers on both sides of it to work. So if you have like users, the daters on one side, you have to have enough daters to fulfill enough watchers, and you have to have enough watchers to fulfill enough daters. And it's the hardest type of app you can build.
Gotcha. I have to say, I thought
when
you were talking about users and stuff, I thought you were saying data in a fun way. You were like, then the daters, but you meant daters, like people that are dating. And the whole time I'm like, why is she saying data like that?
Okay, you know where I was getting that from? From Johnny Langan, when he used to work with Fun Tie-In. He used to work with the matchmaker that appeared on Real Housewives of Orange County or Beverly Hills? Beverly Hills, because it was Sutton. And when we first lived in LA, our good friend Johnny, we bring him up all the time. Hey, Johnny, if you're listening,
Johnny.
he always does. He always is. His job was to go get people to enter the database. So it was two ways.
Oh,
You
that's
needed
funny.
a database, and then you needed like wealthy clients to look through the database. So similar concept.
Interesting. I like that.
Yeah. The more you know.
I feel like the consensus of the Real Housewives is Salt Lake is giving and New York just is not. I don't really know where the fuck they're going from here.
Salt Lake is giving, this last episode gave. But even before that, I was like, it's okay. This last episode was great. I like the direction we're going in.
Yeah. Well, they just dropped a mid-season trailer today. You probably didn't even have time to see it.
I haven't seen it.
It's good. And like Mary Cosby has a conversation with her son and they're crying. Like, I think we're getting some shit. Yeah, we're getting some shit.
Oh my gosh. And I was going to say earlier when we were talking about, the JT thing, I can't believe this is going way back, but that we don't know what happened. Like, Bravo's kept it enough of a secret that we haven't figured it out.
Maybe it will be something.
Cool.
Okay, you know what would be cool? Here's a cool fun prediction. Now we're back to Southern Charm talk. If there's a big blow up at the like in Southern Charm, and like everyone's against JT, and then like something comes up on the screen and it's like JT refused to film the rest of his interviews and quit the show after this or something like that.
That's what I think it's gonna be.
That would be cool. Give me
like
the drama.
90%.
Give me the
But
drama.
I'm surprised it hasn't been leaked of what happened, because normally it always gets spoiled for us now, and it's not. And like Salt Lake City, I'm glad I don't know what's going to happen this season.
Before we sign off, let's check JT's Instagram real fast. Wow, Carolyn.
I don't know, it's one vocal cord.
Okay, so this on my one day at a time, I couldn't do that. This one day at a time post is still the most recent one up, but someone commented and said, my perspective of you has changed after spending time hearing your struggles. I am what is called pre-diabetes. Your videos have inspired me to change my workout and lifestyle. And JT responded and said, this makes my day.
Something about diabetes? I mean, all the drinking he does is horrible for diabetes, by the way. Maybe it has some health issue related to that? I don't know.
I don't know. And everyone's just commenting like sometimes you have to.
Okay, so we do know something.
Oh, and someone said, what's your secret? You're inspiring me. And he said, avoid insulin response from food and drink. So I guess it's a diabetes thing.
It was a diabetes thing. I that was not on my bingo card, so I apologize.
He might have said that, and I just don't remember him saying he had diabetes.
We'll look into it.
Yeah, wow. God, I feel like I'm really proud of us for doing an entire podcast episode and not mentioning Brianna, Chickenfry, and Zach Bryan.
Oh, God.
But they're not reality TV, and I feel like everyone's heard enough about that, so maybe we
didn't even once. Well, can we give a TLDR of, at least my TLDR? Like, go Brianna.
Go Brianna.
Hell yeah. With you, girl.
Yeah.
Amazing.
She is so strong, and I'm glad. Quick cliff notes. She was dating the singer. She's a TikToker, influencer, podcaster. She was dating the country music singer, Zach Bryan. They dated for about a year. Very public relationship. They break up shittily on his part. He offers her $12 million and an NDA to silence her. She doesn't take it. $12 million.
Let
that sink
12
in.
million.
She doesn't take it, and she spills everything on her podcast BFFs with Dave Portnoy. And I mean, look, it is kind of like a tale as old as time. Like, girl dates musician, expecting him to be different, and he isn't. But there's a lot more layers to this. He seemed like a pretty horrible person. And my biggest takeaway is he had a wife and another long-term girlfriend before Brianna. And she did mention, you know, they were not in a place where they could turn down money, and I am. So like they might not be able to.
Oh, that gave me chills.
Yeah, she said, you know, they were able to be paid off for their silence. I will speak for them.
So I'm talking at my alma mater tomorrow, and at the end, I was like, I want to do one slide of things I wish I would have been told, or things that I was told when I was your age. And one of them was, I was just reiterating it because my college advisor said, when I was in school, he told me, if you take one thing away from this entire university, take this. Always have FU money. Always have FU money. Save it in the bank so you never are in a position where you have to compromise who you are and you can walk away from it.
That is really good
That's what
advice.
she had. She had FU money. Good for her. But not everyone has that.
It also helps when you're rich. But I feel that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but even like setting, you know, just save. Don't, you know, just think.
Right,
it's a good thing to have in the back of your mind.
Even like $1,000 that you have
exactly.
just in case.
Like even for these like when I was an assistant in Hollywood, I wish I could have quit sometimes, but I couldn't because of the tiny amount of money that was coming in, you know? Stuff like that.
No, I totally
Anyways,
agree.
good for her.
Yeah. That's just been taking the fucking internet by storm. So now we mentioned it. Now we've
We did our
covered,
job.
Now we've really covered everything. Are you speaking tonight?
Tomorrow.
Oh, well, good luck.
Thank you. I'm speaking 3 hour and 15-minute lectures and a lunch. I know.
Are you like, you might actually be mute after this.
So I told them about my situation and I said that I have to have a microphone. So they're bringing one.
Did you say this in the beginning, what you're talking about?
No, but I'm talking about my brief years selling generative AI software for marketing purposes.
People forget Carolyn's smart.
Thank you so much. That's very, very nice of you.
I don't know what I can't even say it. Generative
Well, if you
AI?
come to my lecture tomorrow, I can tell you all about it.
Live stream it for me.
I will. Yeah, we'll put it up.
I'll be there.
All on our Instagram. Yeah, tons of reels.
Well, we hope you guys liked our episode with Peter last week. That was really fun to do an interview. We've been getting like really positive feedback on it. We hope you enjoyed this week's episode. I hope we covered a lot of bases. I like everything we talked about. I thought it was pretty interesting. And as always, we just really appreciate you guys for listening to us.
For listening, and I know it's, you know, we say it once, we'll say it a million times. It never hurts to share. Even telling about one person about us helps us grow, and we appreciate the community we're building. Let's get more gabbers in it.
Hell yeah.
Love you guys.
Love you guys. I love you so much.
Love you so freaking much.
Be safe and goodbye.
Goodbye, everyone.